Hello everyone, how you guys doing? Welcome back to the official Nick Walsh TV channel. It has been some time since we've had the opportunity to go live with just a Nick Walsh stream. It's been really busy, guys. We had Scoop, and then straight out of Scoop, we went straight into the Spin Go Showdown, which we've been having almost every single day since then. But yeah, today we're just going to play Spin Goes. We're going to try and put some numbers up for the Spin Go challenge. For those of you that don't know, we are currently doing a 50K challenge. What does that mean? We're playing $50,000 worth of Spin Goes, $10 at a time, and we're going to track our progress. So before we get into that, or before we get into the games, I should say, why don't I go ahead and fire up some results. Let's see where we're at so far. Let's give you guys a little snapshot into the progress thus far over here. All right, so here are the results. So this is filtered specifically since the start of the challenge. In fact, it's a couple days before, but I've explained a bit more on that in the challenge announcement. And this is the $10 buy-ins, and this is between chips of 900 and 1500, which is basically just a hacky way of getting hand to note to display the correct games, because these are spins specifically. Excuse me, guys. We played 557 games. That means we played $5,570 of our 50K total, so over 10% of the games played, or the total games required. And we are up 50 bucks. We have a chip EV of about 13 chips per game. Now, this number is interesting, guys. So 13 is very low, but we have to remember also that with the new change in Spin Goes, 13 chips per game is not a million miles away from break even plus. However, because there are fewer chips in play on average and the games are much faster and the edge is smaller, it is actually proving quite difficult to get to the point where we are profitable pre-rake back. But hopefully we'll be able to build on that a little bit today. We are actually winning a few bucks. It's actually 50 bucks up in pre-bonus money. However, with bonuses, we're actually up significantly more. So let me see if I can pull this up for you as well, guys. So there is a way for me to pull rake back directly into hand to note, but I want to include other bonuses unlocked as well. So I've been doing this manually. So if I switch over to this one, and then I open up this one, here it is. All right, so far, guys, we are up $107 in bonuses, plus there's one in here that is unaccounted for too. So 137, we're up about 180 bucks in the challenge so far, and we didn't get off to the best start. You guys can see the graph over here. So this is our chip graph. We got off to an okay start. We bombed pretty considerably here. We've made some adjustments to the strategy, and we're making progress. We're heading back in the right direction. I do anticipate that if we carry on at the current trajectory, we will get close to a break-even pre-rake back number soon, I hope. But whatever. We're going to play some poker. We're going to see how we go. We're going to take it from there. We're going to start off with just the one table. I wanted to put in a little volume on stream here today, but I'm not feeling particularly peppy. I might need a... what have I done here? I might need a little coffee, and then we can fire up some more tables. But let's just open up one table at a time to start, and then we will get some more going on here as we progress through the day. How you guys doing out there in the chat world? Hello. It's a pleasure to be back. Thank you very much for all the new followers. That was Altine, Morais, Lisi Slots, Undersea Monkey, Yo-Yo Skybomb. And thank you to Wistern giving me a shout out as well. That's very kind of you. That was yesterday, but I still appreciate it nonetheless. Hello, Smeeble. You thought it was going to be a basic Wednesday. How wrong you were. Hello, buddy. Good to see you. Hello, Raksha. Hello, Tom. Thank you for taking care of us as per usual. Undersea Monkey. Good to see you. Thank you for the follow. And I'm glad you're watching while you're at work. I love that. Zintex, hello. Thanks for jumping on today, guys. Hello, Ted over there on YouTube as well. Also, Lighter Maximo, Forza Nick GLGL. Thank you, buddy. I really appreciate it. Thank you to the YouTube friends as well. All right, game number one. Let's get some action with the ace jack here. We don't mind calling shoves. That's totally cool. Big blind can shove. That's okay. We accept that. Let me know how the mic sounds, by the way, guys. This is a new microphone. This room is still too echoey, and all the mic technology in the world isn't really the best solution for just actually getting some proper noise cancellation in here, or some noise dampening, whatever the word is. But this new mic, when I was testing, actually did a lot of the work cutting out the background noise and also cutting out quite a lot of the echo as well. Let me know what it sounds like. I'm trying to get a better setup for when we are not doing, you know, these streams. I don't mind that. These are actually not the worst pair of headphones. They're pretty good, but they are also, like, after a couple hours, they really start to crush your skull. Hello, Eagle Hunter. Lisi Lots, good to see you. Thank you for the follow again. Sacramento, you are not first today, but welcome. Thomas asking, did I have a night out last night? No night out. I mean, so I was streaming against Marls. We were streaming against Marls, but after that, no, it was a pretty chilled night, to be honest. After stream, I think I tidied up the kitchen. I tidied up the living room because Ruth and I received delivery of our new bed today, and also the sofa to replace the previously damaged one. And then I was in bed at a reasonable time. Does it look like I've had a night out? Is that the situation? The mic is sounding crisp. Excellent, guys. Glad to hear it. We can go big on the turn here. Got my usual daily team meeting at the bottom of the clock, and then exciting sarcasm extra meeting for the rest of the afternoon. Well, I'm glad I can assist in your procrastination, mate, as always. Tom made me really paranoid now. Do I look really hungover? I should look well rested and happy. Syntax says, I was about to say that mic sounds good, but I recognize some isolation behind you to get rid of the echo. There will be a little echo for sure, but the difference between this and the previous one is actually night and day, in my opinion. I just need a couple pads and we'll be fine. Just something to soak up the vibration. But all of that is in hand. I just need to actually sort out the office before we do that. We're gonna have to call this one, guys. It's just a price thing. We're just gonna have too much equity to fold here with this combination. This is a pretty classic Nash spot. So 2.6 big blinds we're supposed to call with 7 deuce. So 9 deuce being a little bit better and suited immediately makes it got to be a call. So that's a win. Nice one. Let's get another game in there. Hey, Guru. Good to see you, buddy. I'm glad you like the sound of the mic, though. This is actually meant to be a really, really good auto gain mic as well. So depending on the environment, it adjusts the gain on the fly. But I have to say it sounded nice. And it was relatively, it remains without a lot of digital artifacts as well. So, you know, when they started to get clever with USB mics and they started to add in some sort of AI / just sort of like clever noise isolation tech, it would have lots of things that would make it sound quite digital or whatever. Oh, you said how? Okay, fair enough, Tom. Fair enough. I'm actually just going to double check that I have the right sound on, see if it saved my settings from when I set this mic up. Just feels so much more free playing without the headset. I feel like I'm more in the natural sort of grind environments. Oh, Pocket Kings is a good hand, guys. Okay, so if I double check the settings on the M7, we should be on 100%. Yeah, okay, cool. So this is also supposed to be a more bassy tone, which I think it's definitely, which was working last time I was here. We're heads up against this guy on the left effectively, so we limp this one. I've been working more on these spots, guys. These are coming up a lot more in the merged games. And it's been paying dividends, honestly. There's a couple little adjustments that I've been making in these spots that have been very, very profitably impacting on the challenge. If you guys missed the graph as well, we'll have another look. I know a couple of you joined a little bit later on. Cat is definitely a reg. Reg v reg, we got to call this. Wish me luck. It's just a reg v reg spot, I'm afraid. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Gotta call this one as well. Not a good flop. Bank says you're on a 50K challenge. Yes, I am. The 50K thing sounds a lot more grand than it is. It's still a reasonable amount of volume. It's still something that's worth following. But essentially the way this works, if you guys are new and you haven't heard the spiel yet, I'm playing $50,000 in $10 Spin Go. So 5,000 games. I'm going to track all my progress, good, bad, ugly, whatever is required. Odyssey Monkey, good point. Sorry, I didn't even mention what the mic was. This is the MVK. So Shure is the brand, SHURE. Pretty well-known brand. It is a Shure MKV7 Plus, I think. Let me just double check. I can look. This is unlucky. We're obviously always gonna go broke here. The only way that we don't stack here pre-flop is if perhaps there's a small raise we can just call, but this is a very standard raise stack pre-flop. It is the Shure MV7 Plus. Undersea Monk says, I think you're supposed to call with kings there for the right price. Yeah, correct. Yeah. Good, solid analysis. Guru's picking up a lot of echo. So the echo is definitely going to be there for sure. There's going to be a reasonable amount of echo. The noise isolation is actually canceling out some of the fan noise from the computer and that stuff. So it should sound good on the front end, but it's still going to be echoey, especially with me shouting in this fucking room. It would be better if I opened the window probably a bit. All right, pretty standard stuff there. Next game. What's up, B Cantor? Good to see you. Spin God, hello. How you doing, mate? So the other thing I might do as well, guys, is I might augment the location of this microphone a little bit. And then what we can do is... See, there was this really funny conversation when I first became an ambassador for PokerStars. It should automatically adjust the gain when I'm really quiet like this. Okay, it's supposed to be technology. When I first joined Team Pro, there was a lot of discussion about like what are your setups. This was back when Jamie Stapes was still in the crew, even and. I used to think the whole, like, I'm a streamer, I have a mic, like this. I used to think that was really cool. I was imagining people having, like, really nice, setups on their desk, and I was imagining something that looked like this. I think there's a chance we can raise the flop here, guys. Thank you for the follow. We're going to shove turn. Hopefully we get it right here. He's going to call us with pocket nines. I will also accept a fold on the turn. That's fine. But yeah, I'm not saying this specific look here. That's kind of ridiculous. But I always kind of like that the mic was peeking out. And then obviously when it's like this, you can turn the gain down and you got more of this, like, you got that character. Do you guys ever see that scene, that YouTube video? Can't remember what the name of the YouTubers were, but they bought a new mic and they were like, we're here to test out the new mic. Does it have more character? Hello, Croaks. Good to see you, buddy. Hey, Dana in the chat over on YouTube as well. How you doing? How you doing? Come on in and just sitting down. Hello, muted 777. All right, so reg v reg, this is a call, and we have him marked as a reg, so I don't really see any way out. Wish me luck. We're going to get this one right, though. Oh, there we go. There's a method to the madness. There's a little method to the madness. I don't mind that. I don't mind that. Hey, so that was MW or MWA1. Thank you for the follow. Likey Kalu, thank you for the follow as well. And I appreciate it, guys. Thank you for the support. Now, we are facing a reg. 4, 5, 6, 7. It looks like it got shot, but it's not. So anyway, what I'm going to try and do, guys, is I'm going to try and put in a reasonably sized session today. Like I said, we'll probably whip out some more tables in a little bit. We'll whip out a couple more tables in just a moment. For those of you that missed it, just while we're in the middle of the 3X here, let me fire this up for you guys. So if you guys are just joining the stream, let's take a look at some graphage. So really quick. Something happens here. We get called. We shove queen 10 into ace 10 here. King is fine. I'll take a king. GG. So on this pause then, this is our graph so far. This is our chip graph so far, guys. The raw stats are that we've played 557 games or $5,570. We're up $50, 1% ROI. This is higher than it should be. We're actually not winning enough to really technically be profitable pre-rake back in the long run. Chip EV of 13, this should get closer to 20x, 20-ish to break even. It's actually like 23 or something like that. But this is where we're at. If you just joined us, let's get back to the games. And yeah, hopefully we'll put in a little sesh today. I want to try and get have the YouTube, the Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, short form updates happen more often. And then I'd like to get those happening a bit more often. So I was going to say I'd like to play another 10%, but I think probably in reality, it's going to be better for us just to update, every couple days. Undersea Monk says, are you using the XLR or the USB? I'm using the USB out just for ease. I would be comfortable using XLR. Mic close with low gain is better for late night radio sound. Absolutely. Yeah, no, I understand that. The auto gain on this mic is particularly good, but then as I'm sure you're aware, like when you try to manually set the gain and then you try and do the distance thing, as soon as there's any variation, it starts to get really, really touchy. Don't you dare. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that this is not a good play. I'm just gonna push the boat out here and say, not such a great play. Can we make a comeback though? Yo, M. Boer, thank you very much for the follow as well. Lots of new followers today. Appreciate you guys. Cool. That's from Spraggy. Sweet. This one's going in. right, comeback is on. The comeback is on. Ooh, did I put challenge back into... I need to put challenge back into my ticker at the bottom, don't I? Type challenge for 50K. One, two, three. Try that. What's up, Dean? Good to see you, buddy. Sorry, I'm gonna mess up my camera really quick, guys. Bear with me. Ooh, comeback is very real here. It's better. Comeback is very real. Would love to have gotten some action there. Ryan Aldo is about to call my shove. Nines is a great wake up. Sorry, guys. Yo, Jakers, thank you with the 1 out of 10 hype train, you animal. Well, this isn't great, is it? Yes, Jakers, thank you for the prime. I appreciate you, mates. Very kind, very kind. There might be a hype train animation as well. Can't remember. I set him up just before we started the other challenge, or the other showdown, I should say. Dana is asking, Nick, have you seen the full list of players for the Heads Up Championship? Thoughts? I thought you'd do well in that event, given your Spin Go experience. So I don't know for sure yet, Dana, but I would love to be a part of that commentary team at least. I don't think I'll actually be taking part this year somehow. I haven't seen the full list, but some of the players I have seen, very excited to see play. I know that Mizraki is going to be up there, which is great because it's really his situation right now. It's his year. I have not seen the full list of players, though, no, and I'm still kind of waiting to see if I'm actually going to be involved with the commentary. You would think that somebody that's played a lot of Heads Up would have a little something to say. Now, granted, as well, they're not Spin and Goes. They are much longer streams. It is fair to say that they're not spins. They're going to be much longer games. They're deeper stacked, but you know, still. Nikabust is almost definitely a reg as well, by the way. We can definitely start giving him more of a yellow tag. We're going to make the call here, blind v blind as well. Again, these reg v reg spots are almost easier because we know we can assume our opponents are going to be playing, you know, the correct range. I think Maximus is probably a reg as well, guys. We're going to give this guy a little bit of a tentative yellow here. So far, the fact that we've played a lot with this guy and we've got no notes so far is usually an indication of strength because we haven't had to know anything weird. What's up, Slady? Good to see you as well, mates. NWL is lurking while working this afternoon. Good luck with the challenge. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And I hope that work goes well, and I hope I can be a happy distraction this afternoon. All right, I guess we're going to call a bluff on the river. There's no chance. We're not going to get a dime. Queen 6 of clubs, eh? See, the fact that they don't bluff there as well is also good. Like, I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying that a lot of players will convince themselves if they have no spade, they have to, like, if they have to bluff the river if her opponent is checking. Out of space, what's up? Thank you for the good lucks. How you doing today? Let's sneak this one into... Oh, we're supposed to do one of these, right? Let's do one of these ISOs. Let's do one of the weird ones. Graph Gang is similar to Giraffe Gang, and I love that. I mean, look, Sacramento, I'm not being funny, but Graph Gang was before Giraffe Gang, okay? Now, that's not to say I think I'm better than Giraffe, because that would be ridiculous. And that's not to say that Giraffe doesn't have a fantastic community. I just think there's a chance that Graph Gang was a thing before Giraffe Gang. And then it's hilarious because Giraffe Gang went and smashed me out of the park on the streaming front very rapidly. The Giraffe Gang, having streamed for a shorter amount of time, immediately destroyed my my streaming career. Come on, Spade. Come on, Spade. Come on, Spade. Come on, Spade. Get out of my life. Such an annoying run out. We have too good of a price to fold turn, and obviously we still have the chance to get to showdown sometimes with the best of it there against a thinking opponent. Now, some of you might say, well, Nick, why don't you just raise the flop? Well, calling the flop is actually more balanced because we're actually going to do very little raising if we have top pair there. However, the issue that we encounter is more that a call is probably just going to result in quite a few give-ups if it's not literally the perfect turn to barrel. Ace on the turn, a supremely good card to bluff, or just to improve with, of course. Hello, Black Elf. Good to see you, mate. I miss you, dude. It's been a while now. Haven't seen you for a spell. And, we can also just make a spade flush sometimes. I know it seems fucking ridiculous, but there we are. I know it seems ridiculous when you see the frequency that we complete draws. Because those of you who've been paying attention will be well aware. We don't win at poker because we win our all-ins. We win because we have to fight for every goddamn penny on the table. Versus a theoretical reg, this is definitely a call. Wish me luck. 2 live cards. Oh, of course. Okay, of course. Yeah. Story checks out. Yeah, I would argue that is well within a call, I'm afraid. Breaking news, Nick hates the Giraffe Gang. All right, fine. I'll text Bert. I'll text Bert here, and I'll text Bert, and I'll let him know the sad details. Definitely a call. Wish me luck, guys. What's going on here? Queen. King is acceptable. A king is acceptable. Four deuce is not a very good hand. Getting a walk is nice. A7 is definitely a go here. Have you guys ever seen these before? This one's already a little bit squeaky. I got sent this in the post the other day. You hear it? Gyroscope. Yeah. All right. Let's put this into this category. Same, bud. Too bad you haven't been in London in ages. I mean, I will be in London soon, though, of course. We're going to London for the Women's Summer Festival mid-August. Very excited about that. Maybe we'll see you then. Black Elf, you should come and play the 50-50 on the Saturday. It's going to be so good. It was amazing tournament last time. Dana says, I missed the PokerStars play. My stats were off the charts. I played on there for years and then they took it away. I think it's gosh darn un-American. That's what it is. Yeah, 2 regs. We're just going to rip this one. Keep it balanced. Balance is important here. A little bit of balance. Balance. There we go. Yes, Ace-Jack is the correct call as well. So, you know, we shan't be too mad about it. Raksha says, what is that and why is that? So this is called a gyro ball. There's a bit in the middle that winds up and then it spins and it creates a gyroscope. Then you sort of rotate your wrist to like keep the ball to increase the speed of the gyroscope. And the faster it spins, the more resistance it is and the harder it is to hold on to. And it's supposed to strengthen your wrist. Reg v Reg, we're calling. Wish me luck. Well, that is very sad. Do I know a woman for the tag team? There may be some women for the tag team, absolutely. This is a sweet little flop. So it's you get it spinning, and then you use get a little bit of that going on. You do different grips to try and improve your grip strength. Picnic, thank you very much for the follow. It's very simple. Yellow means I either believe 100% or... So yellow means I think that they're a probable reg. That doesn't mean they're a great reg. It just means that I think they're probably playing sensibly. And blue means that they're doing something that is unexpected. And we want to have a note of it. And then eventually, if they do enough things that are unexpected, then we can probably put them in the recreational category. But it's a sliding scale. Sometimes people start blue and they turn yellow. A lot of people think this is a sort of reg fish tag. It's not true. It's not the case. Do I parlay any français? I parlay un petit point français. I'm going to value bet the 8s here, guys. This guy has a 4. This guy definitely has a 4. Oh my God. He has 4 deuce. Razor thin. Razor thin right there, chat. What's up, Wee? Good to see you. Picnic Pingu, there's a delay, buddy. There's a delay. So if you ask me a question, it takes a couple minutes for the delay to catch up. Yellow basically means reg. Blue basically means I've seen some unusual things. Sometimes it's just good players who are making adjustments that are unexpected that we need to be aware of. And then eventually we realize that they're good later on. And then we can make the adjustment. Usually if you are a blue player with too many tags, with too many notes, excuse me, we can assume the player is going to be more recreational. And then in some cases, it's just outright madness. And we want to remember that for future games, if you know what I mean. This seems fine. Heads up for the 20 bucks here on the left. But yes, there was an aspiration once to speak French or to learn French when I was a kid. Not something that ever really happened. I do speak some German, and I do speak some Spanish, both at a pretty chill level, but you know, something. That's all right, Picnic Pingu. Don't you worry. All right, should we fire up a couple more games here, guys? Should we try and two table for a bit? My name is in the hat for Poker Org Extraordinary Women Competition for the PokerStars Women's Festival, to say the least. To say the least, I'm a lot shot. But here's hoping. Well, we'll hopefully see you then, right? We'll hopefully see you at the event. Is that right? A friend of mine nominated me. I win already. That's a lovely way to think about it. It's nice. It's nice to practice gratitude like that. Happy birthday! Thank you very much for the follow. And White Seed, thank you for the follows, guys. White Seed, thank you for the follow. All right, next game, please. All right, here's what we're going to have to do, chat. We're going to bring this bad boy over here. We're going to put this bad boy over here. All right, close that table. All right, now, let's play some volume. All right, so we got... Oh, we're doubling up here. This isn't right. Okay, 1 second, guys. All right, don't confuse yourself, Nicholas. Table 2 is not right. Table 2 is this one. Okay. I'm a long shot. Yeah, no, I thought that was what you were writing, Dana. Yeah, it's there. I want to see full spinning plates action overload on games, Nick. Play like 10 at once. No, thanks. I'm not sure why this guy would play an ace like this. I could be wrong, but I don't think he has an ace. I think he might have a hand like 9-10. He could even call me with a worse 8. What if he has 8-9, for example? Or 7 deuce. That's also completely acceptable, but this is an example of someone that will go immediately in the deep blue category. Deep, deep blue. The deep, deep blue category. I'm going to give him some rope here. This guy clearly wants to bluff. This guy clearly wants to bluff. He's very excited about bluffing, clearly. Oh, we got him, chat. All right, we put the chips in good here pre-flop. Deuce, ace, tray, anything? That's a sad story. We did actually manage to put the chips in good there for the most part. I don't know this guy. This one is actually probably pretty close to a call, but it's I don't know if we want to be wider in spots like this against the players we don't know. In fact, we probably want to make a considered effort to play slightly tighter than Nash against the unknowns. And then we can put it in like that. That's pretty cool. I think the ace-3 call here is fine, though, for sure. We get unlucky on the right. We do get a little bit unlucky on the right there, but there we go. Next game, please. So he checks the flop. Now he's going to bomb turn. And I wonder what to do on the river now. Checks flop, bombs turn. Now he wants to bet 4.5 on the river. This doesn't feel like a line that's bluffed, to be honest. Yeah. That's scary. Kickseed, what's up? Got distracted here for a second. Picnic is asking, what's the biggest I've ever hit? 150,000. There's a picture in the chat there. Thank you, Raksha. Now, I do anticipate our opponent is going to bluff flop, bluff turn here quite frequently, so we're definitely just going to end up calling down. King Queen would make me cry on this river. I'm not going to lie. King Queen would definitely make me cry, but we're not folding. Pocket Kings is also very reasonable. I'm afraid that it's just one of those against a reg we need to call. Queen 4, any good? Sorry, Picnic. I'm actually colorblind. So I only really use 2 colors. I use red sometimes, but it's a different thing. So this color that I'm calling yellow, which apparently is green, is what I'm making references to yellow. This color I'm making reference to blue. Is this purple? Are you calling this purple, really? We're all in on the right. Good stuff. Yeah, the call down with the jack there is an interesting one. It's going to be extremely player dependent. But against this player, you know, I think it's going to be okay. Get a couple extra dead big blinds in there. Deuce is good. All right. Heads up, even Stevens on the right-hand side. This player in particular, I'm going to sneak in some more limps than I need to. That is a nice run out. That is a nice run out. Got him. I'm going to bluff over here. Nice call. That's actually a very easy call with the 8, but that's fine. Akuma says, wait a minute, I'm also colorblind. Looks yellow to me. That's, well, I thought that was yellow. Tom always tells me it's green. But basically, if I'm discussing the labels, this color is yellow, this color is blue, whatever. However you see it. All right, that's a win, chat. Let's go. Next game. Ace King is a good hand. Let's call here. The Queen 9 shove is going to be fine, though. Running good. Raspberried. Great name. That is a really, really good name, mate. Well done. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. That's not the right... Mother... Oh, this thing is so annoying when it doesn't stack right. There we go. Now we have a nut flush draw. This is a good spot. Having the nut flush draw is fun. Yeah, Reg v Reg, we probably call this. I'd be surprised if we didn't. The thing is, he's going to do this with a lot of stuff that we dominate. If it's that close, that's a good sign. He's going to do that with ace deuce to ace 6. That's important. And obviously also some hands like 8-7 offsuit is going to be in there as well. Thank you very much for the new follower. This was an oversized raise. And Selling Beast, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. When we hit the 10 here, I have absolutely no idea what to do. Well, when they do that, we can't fold. Oh, this is really sad, but I do think that they will have like straight draws and flush draws quite often when they make this particular play. Sometimes they will have a better 10, which is probably the saddest part of this story, but there we are. I do think that this line is particularly weird, though. The saddest part about the 10 there is that obviously if you are going to find players that are randomly overbet shipping middle pair, they will have you out kicked every time. On this flop texture, I am inclined not to believe the check raise. And once we've been check raised, if we don't believe him on the flop, that works, mate. Nice hand, buddy. Easy call. What's up, Steve, in the chat? Hello. When is the next Chat Pro Poker Show? Good question. Still TBC. We need to get the Spin Go showdown out of the way. I need to get a holiday out of the way, and then we'll talk about getting it back for a bit. Is the spin promo over? No, I think it's going till the 4th, if I'm not mistaken. I believe the spin promo is until the 4th of... I believe the spin promo is until the 4th of August. Oh, unless you meant that. That's going on until the end of the week. Friday is the final. We have another game tomorrow, and then Friday is the finals. Trap Ace King. Does that seem fair? Deuce. Does that seem fair, chat? Akuma says, I'm getting better at Spin Go after watching these streams. Never played them before I saw the challenge. Well, good. That's what we're here for. Okay, so let me get this straight. This motherfucker's got aces over here when we've got ace 3. This dude over here has got ace king for like 4 big blinds. Nice hand. Nice hand. Next game, please. I'd like to play more poker, please. Turbo Lima, how's it going? Welcome to the chat. Overlay mode on Twitch? Overlay mode. I'm not sure if I know what overlay mode is. We're going to call a shove on the left here if we need to, guys. This is well within a call, I'm afraid. Going to have too much equity on average to want to fold. Straight me. Get out of my life. Next game, please. Oops, that's not what we meant to do. Sorry, guys. Is poker ever fair? Sometimes there's justice. Sometimes there's justice. You know what might be fun to do, though, as well? I'm not sure if it'll work. Let me see if I can make this work. 1 second. Filter. Window capture. Let me see if this works. Yeah, no, I thought that might be the case. It's not going to work. Yo, Frank the Beard, what's up? Thank you very much for the follow. Pleasure to have you here, mate. How you doing? It's kind of hard to win all in, so I guess. Frank the Beard, thank you very much for joining the Graph Gang. I really appreciate it. Sorry, guys. What happened here? That's the one. This is the wrong table. There we go. Frank the Beard, what's up? Thank you so much for the follow and the sub. It's very kind of you. What's up, Dunbar? Thanks for joining us, mates. we haven't seen you for quite some time. The RNG is fickle but balanced. That is a solid analysis. Double gut shots. Any good? Double gut shot. Any good? Very good, sir. Very good. Hi, everyone. I'm back. It's been a while, but I'm on the grind. Good to hear it, mate. Thank you again for joining us. Best of luck in your sessions. Life tilts. Life tilt ISOs, mate. Actual life tilt. Not so good. Next game. That is a straight. Does our opponent have a club flush? That seems like it would be kind of unlucky, huh? Got him. For the $40. That just ain't right. That just ain't right, chat. Tom says, are you set the whole way on the $10, or if things get tight, you'll go to 25s? I'm going to stay with the 10s all the way through. That's the idea. That is the idea, Tom. I kind of, if we get to the end of the year and I'm like 500 games out, I'm just going to call it the way it is. That's fine with me. Like, I'm not, the challenge isn't really to do with the volume. I just wanted to set a target that, you know, was associated with a big number. It's more that I wanted to get, like, you know, reasonably concise data for the 10s after the merge. So Dana, I've played about 5,000 of the challenge so far, so 10, just over 10% of the total 50K target. And I'm up like, I think earlier we said it was like 180 bucks. 180 USDs. We did get off to a slow start though, to be fair, in the challenge. Straight me. Straight me. There we go. Come on now, finish it for the $40. All right. It's a start. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. All right. 40 bucks in the bank. That will help soften the blow for a moment. Watch this bluff, guys. Watch this bluff. Is this a bluff gone wrong? Bluff gone wrong? Bluff gone wrong? Bluff gone wrong. Defending a 3-bet with King 9 seems pretty outlandish, to be honest, but I actually don't know the spot very well. Need to mark that one for review. Let's put that in the review category. Fuck me. Marking the King 7 there. I mean, the 3-bet bluff is definitely out of line. I think the King 9 defend is equally out of line. And then once we get to the flop, it just kind of is what it is. We're just going to have the best hand monstrous amount of the time. Thank you for the follow. Steve Swift, thank you so much. Frank Beer says, by the way, Nick, your labels seem to appear correctly for me. How do you mean? All right, we got it in good here on the left. Sorry, guys. This is... Did you guys not see that game just now? Shit. King and a queen. Nice. That is a little bit more like it. Yo, Erebus, thank you very much for the follow, my dude. You know I love that name. Reminds me of Warhammer. Makes me think about Warhammer. Don't drop the watch. Good old Erebus. Can we put the chips in and win the pots? All right, that's a win. Nice one. Blue Line Fighter, what's up? Good question. Let me read that out properly. One sec. Let me read that out and we'll have a little combo about it. Okay, I am so sick of this stupid thing. Come on, just do as you're told, bruv. It's not right either. There we go. So Blue Line Fighter says, hey, Nick, been watching for a long time and love the way you play and explain spinning goes. With this kind of challenge showing a 1% ROI after 20K spent. 20K. Where are we getting 20K from? Sorry, mate. Let me play these hands quickly. Okay, what is this guy repping? Does he really have a 10 for real? Oh, just flop the boat. That makes sense. Sure. Yeah. Sure. That was meant to be a shove, by the way, over here. This was a mistake. So this is a min-raise pot. We've bet the flop. We've bet the turn. I think we're just calling it down now. That is so cold. What's up, everybody? It's good to see you again, dude. Yo, the Butcher, thank you for the follow. Sorry, this is a good question, though. Let me pause here for a sec, guys. So Blue Line Fighter is asking, hey, Nick, been watching for a long time. Love the way you play and explain spinning goes. With this kind of challenge showing a 1% ROI after 20K spent, would it be plausible to consider a change to MTTs instead? Or is it an outlier with other variables? So first of all, we haven't spent 20K in the challenge. We've only played 5,000 games, slightly more than 5,000 games. The other consideration is that we're showing a 1% ROI. We're showing a 1% ROI. Obviously, that's also pre-rake back, though, as well. So our total ROI after rake back, after bonuses, will be considerably higher than 1% theoretically at the moment. So without doing the numbers exactly, if we could achieve a 1 or 2% ROI pre-rake back, the amount that we earn plus rake back would actually be considerably more. And also, the amount that you earn in rake back is a linear gain. So if you can play a style of spinning goes where you have a small percent ROI pre-rake back, every game that you play has a linear payout associated with it. So it flattens the variance considerably, but also means that we snag a few extra percentage points. The other thing to consider, though, as well is, and I think this happens quite often, people will learn that, sit and go players, not just spin and go players, but sit and go players only have a couple percent ROI. but they're not accounting for the fact that we're playing a much higher frequency of game. So you might have a very high double-digit ROI in tournaments, but the number of tournaments that you can play in any given setting is going to be quite limited, and also the variance associated with that is going to be quite high too, right? So you could play an entire year of high ROI tournament poker, and if you have a high ROI and that's your true ROI, then you're obviously going to succeed. You're going to have some success, but what you're going to do is you're going to find that to achieve that true ROI, you have to play a large number of tournaments, and the number of tournaments that you play is going to be somewhat restricted by the actual length and the frequency of the game that you want to play. So you know how they say, you know, never miss a Sunday or whatever, right? Sundays are a really good day to play tournaments against a very good field where your ROI is going to be particularly enhanced. But even on a Sunday, there's a limit to how many games you're actually going to be able to put in that session. And it might take you months and months and months to see, I mean, months or even years. In a live setting, you may never play enough games. But in order to realize your true ROI, you have to play a lot of tournaments, which is very time consuming. So having a very high ROI in a tournament setting can't be compared directly to spins, because let's say that John Smith, right? The John Smith character has a 1% ROI in spinning goes. And because he plays such a high frequency of game, he gets something like 60% rake back, which is possible on PokerStars. So with just plucking numbers out of my mind, his 1% ROI very quickly becomes several percentage points more, which means every $10 that he buys in for, every 25, every 100 or whatever, he's actually getting a very reasonable ROI on average per game. And also it's happening in a relatively low variance way, if that makes sense. Spinning goes are crazy high variance, don't get me wrong. But when you get to the point where you're playing a reasonable amount of volume and you're getting a lot of your edges coming from reward unlocking, that does actually flatten the variance considerably, because you know at the end of each X number of games, you will be getting a cash sum of X. So it has the benefit of that. But then also, let's say that John has a 1% ROI and he has not so good rake back, but he's still making a couple of percentage points. John can play like 20,000 games in a year, which is infinitely more than the average tournament player is going to win. It's going to play, excuse me, like way, 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 way more. So there's a trade-off, right? You can have a small ROI in playing a game where the average game length is like 6 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever it currently is. Or you can have a very high ROI in the average game length being 5 hours or 4 hours or whatever the average is for tournaments these days. Does that make sense? So it's not so much that you go, well, Nick, you know, I think that playing spinning goes are interesting and I like watching you play them, but it's a really small ROI. Like, when do you want to graduate into playing tournaments, for example? Which I know that's not really what you're saying, but people do sometimes. I think it's kind of like comparing apples to oranges, but having a low ROI in spinning goes does not necessarily mean that you earn less. It just means that the average return on investment per game that you play is smaller. But if you can play like 100 times those games in the stretch of time that it takes to complete a tournament, then you're compensating, right? It's like if I said to you, I'll give you $5. What's a good way to describe this? Like, I'll give you $5. Or I tell you what, I'll give you $100 every time you run a mile, or I'll give you a penny every step that you take throughout the day. Do you see what I'm saying? It's kind of like, you know, but also I don't know where you got 20K from. Sorry, I'm not trying to be contrary. We haven't spent 20K yet. And also we're still in profit. So we haven't even churned 20K yet. We've only done about 5. Apologies, I thought you said 20K. Was it 10? I might have misspoken as well, buddy. No, sorry. Just to give you a quick summary, we've been playing for, I don't know, 15 days or something. We've played 579 games. So we've played 5,790 spinning dollars worth of spinning goes. And we currently have, well, we're actually now slightly below zero after today's session. That's how much of a fine line we're at. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate you taking the time to explain ROI, frequency, and variance. That makes sense. Love the content. No problem. And thank you for the question. That's a very commonly asked question that I think is interesting. So thank you for asking it. Right. Let's slow it down for a sec. Mikey11, thank you for the follow. Good to see you. Yorkie P, thank you for the follow as well. Is that a good way to break it down? Is that a good way to break it down? I'll give you $100 for every mile you run, or $1 for every step you take. It's not that straightforward, but you know, there's something there. Good Lord. So far, today is a nightmare. We are definitely in another downswing here, gang. I don't feel like we're doing much wrong so far. We've had a couple of cold decks. There was a couple spots where we potentially could have folded river, but also a lot of very standard stuff that's just kind of running into stronger bits and bobs. We've seen this before, I'm afraid. Ouch. We've seen this before, but this is what we can come to expect from this format now. It's a lot faster, I guess. To continue on that line of discussion, Blue Line, I would also say that becoming better at tournaments is something that I think is interesting to me, but it's still not something that I'm particularly passionate about. Like, am I okay at tournament poker? Of course I'm okay at tournament poker. I mean, technically, sit and goes are tournament poker as well. We can't forget that, but just call him Nika, Brandon. Nika. Erebus says, I might have to pick up Spin and Goes, then I love the game, but it's hard to find the time to commit to large field tournaments, which run to 60. So that's a big trade-off, Erebus. But like, it just depends what you're up for. Like, the whole high frequency, high variance thing doesn't really, that's something that I've never shied away from. If that's not your cup of tea, then you can find spins very tilting. And, you know, like, kind of what I'm trying to say is, you know, there are people out there who are extremely good at tournament poker, but because in order to, you know, unlock your EV, in order to sort of earn your EV, technically you might have to play, like, you know, 50 tournaments, 100 tournaments, 200 tournaments before you have like a major score that compensates for all the times that you were unlucky. Sometimes it can go on for longer. In the same, I don't know, it's all poker though, right? So in the same vein, playing Spin and Goes is brutal as well, because especially in the merged pool, with the 2x multipliers being faster and all that, you just go on runs where you're just making the right move and you're just running into it all day, and it's just not really a lot you can do about it. MTT is too hard, confirmed. Understandable. MTTs are very hard, absolutely. I'm not, definitely can't deny that. How badly do I want to bluff here? How badly do I want to bluff? How badly do I want to bluff? Oh my God. It is understandable. We can't all be Black Elf. We can't all be Wonder Boys. We can't all be born with poker genius in our blood, you know what I mean? Some of us have to work at it. Black Elf. Yeah, we got to call any 2 cards here, guys. It is too few chips, 2 folds. Too few chips, 2 folds. Oh, it's so loud. Scared the shit out of me. These sticky doors. Thank you, darling. All right, we have coffee, guys. This is going to change our fortunes. Sorry, guys. This is what I meant to do. Yo, Sun. No, shit. Sun Running TV. Thank you very much for the rating party. Welcome, everybody, from Sun Running TV. This is the Nick Walsh TV channel. We're playing Spin Goes. We're doing a 50K challenge. We're trying to play $50,000 worth of $10 Spin Goes before the end of the year. And we are running bad, so I hope you guys are bringing the luck. Sun Run TV, thank you for the raid, and thank you for the follow as well. Very kind of you. Oh, goodness me. GLGL, Nick, thanks for the shout out. It's my pleasure, dude. I hope you had a good stream. Catch up with you in a sec. Cannot get any more exclamation marks on his name. King Queen on the right is a good hand. Nobody is going to tell me any different. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's totally fine. Totally fine. Totally fine. Not at all. It's totally fine. It's not a problem. It's totally fine. Ooh, I got to stop doing that. That's annoying. All right. Let's push this in. I like the tunes. I think they're good selections, actually. Get you guys a little ASMR there. Get you guys a little coffee ASMR. No, $10 or 100K. The 5s are the big one. Sunrun says, what is really bad is spins. I feel like what is really bad in spins, I feel like it can be really bad. That's exactly true. It can be very bad. I would know something about that as well. I would know something about that as well, for sure. The 3 of clubs is a particularly bad turn here, guys. However, we can call 3 big blinds. That's fine. We can call that amount because that's never a flush. Now, this is an interesting one on the right because technically we can shove versus steal, but when they 3x, they're going to turn up with stuff that we really don't want to see. As an exploit, we folds. If they end up having only 3x steals from the button, then it's obviously different. Dr. Tonic, good day. I hope you brought some luck with you because we need some. We need some. That's a good turn. This is a very respectable turn, guys. But yes, you're absolutely right. It's all fine and good to talk about ROI and all this blah, blah, blah. And don't get me wrong, I live my life by that code. Oh my God. On the left, for the triple, For the triple? How is the king not a clean fucking out? This is outrageous. This is absolutely outrageous. Value bet the river like a genius. I'm gonna value bet the river like a genius. Like an absolute genius. Oh god. Ugh. This guy's never bluffed a day in his life, and if he did, it wouldn't look like this. Nice hand, dude. This dude is not bluffing here, I'm telling you. Wish me luck, guys. Winning flips is not hard. There we go. Thank you for the new follow. Philippe, I really appreciate it, dude. Thank you. What does a 1 kilogram bag of good coffee cost in the UK? That's a great question, mate. I am not one. I couldn't tell you. I have kind of been getting into coffee a little bit more. Recently, but you know. So this is a limped pot. Oh, this is so nasty. Why would he do this? Limped pots. Fuck. I was gonna say the king doesn't make as much sense. King does not make much sense, but the river 2 pair. You know, I don't think it's really fair that they river 2 pair when we literally have them absolutely murdered on the flop, murdered on the turn. Our hand can't get any better, and they've just got the offsuit 2 pair. Well, that's not right. I guess we just play more poker, guys. What do you think? Somebody tell me what to do. I guess we just play more poker. So I have been getting into coffee a little bit more recently, but I just like find what I want to try and I just buy it. I don't really look at the price too much. That's not some kind of cool flex either. That's just... All right, we're going to bluff this river if he checks. Otherwise, we're just going to fold. Can I get a king 9? Airbus is saying, what kind of bankroll management do you suggest for spins? So I would have classically said 100 to 200 binds per stake. With the changes, it might be a lot more. It might be a lot more. Because these games are wild since they merged spin and flash and regular speed spins. Thank you for the follow, Dusty Truth Poker. Great name. How you doing, Dusty? King 5 is definitely a push at 9 big blinds effective. The real trick is to not run into queens. That's usually the best case outcome. We usually prefer when something like that happens. We have a flush. We have a flush and we win. Dusty Truth, what's up? Hey, Bobby Winger, what's going on, buddy? I was gonna say, I know Dusty Truth. What is? Of course I do. How you doing, bud? Hope you've been doing well. Good luck in the grind. Thank you very much, dude. Thanks, baby cakes. Baby cakes. Just Dusty Truth. How I gonna win the pot. We're getting murked out here, folks. Today is not going well on the graph, I'm afraid. See if we can fix this. Really, Brandon? I don't know if I ever finished the Vince McMahon I don't know if I ever finished the Vince McMahon documentary, but I was enjoying it. Thank you for the new follow. Appreciate you, dude. Sneaking a little trap here. Well, the trap was cool. The trap was cool until they sucked out. That was great. The trap was actually really good until it wasn't. The trap was actually perfect until they got lucky. He was going 90 in a regular street. Bruv. That shit scares me, dude. People driving unnecessarily fast. I might just be an old man here, but all right, we have some notes on this guy. We're gonna let him. We're gonna give him some rope here. We're definitely gonna check this river, though. We want to try and get all the juice. We're gonna get all the juice. All the juice. That's an interesting call there, by the way. But you'll notice how we didn't shy away from allowing all the juice. We were willing to provide substantial juice. All right, pair of deuces. Nuts. We will not be folding ace-9 of hearts. We're going to bet the turn. Little delayed c-bet bluff. Or in this case, not a c-bet bluff, just a bet. Little tramp here with the king-jack. We will be getting all the chips in here on both sides. Spade? Oh, let's go. That's more like it. That is more like it, ladies and gents. All right, we get it in good on the right. We're heads up with the chip lead. Yes. The 1.5 big blind trap. Well done, buddy. God damn it. Definitely need a note in that, even though it doesn't matter. He's going to win the whole stack no matter what. That's why that is so tilting. All right, so limp, ultra, short was ace jack off. My SUV has a top speed of 225 kph. I almost never use more than 50% of that. That is a reasonable way to behave, yeah. It is a very reasonable way to behave. Oh, we get a fold there. That's huge. Blinds are up as well. He has 1.5 big blinds, chat. Come on. How can we mess this one up? Spades alive, baby. Let's go. Hello, Curtis Lambert. Yes, even today I'm here in the chat. Nick, best give me one hell of a shout out. So I need to give a special shout out to my friend, Mr. Curtis Lambert, aka Uncle Curtis, aka the Slambo, aka Slambert, aka WizKid, aka the Castle Smasher, aka the Check Raise Machine, aka the Taxman's Assistant. It is his birthday, guys. So happy birthday to Uncle Curtis Lambert. We've been friends for a long time. And it shows. How's it going, Slambo? We trapped him, guys. We trapped him. Oh. 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 What happens now? What the fuck is going on? What? I don't know why this is happening. What the hell is wrong with this thing? So annoying. What the fuck? 6-5. Okay, all in. AKA Snooker Magoo. The way American cities are built where you need cars seems so ridiculous to me now. It's absurd. It is absurd. Sure, you get a little bit more space on average. Yes. Sure, your houses are a little bit bigger. Sure, your buildings are a little bit bigger. Not worth it. Not worth it. Absolutely not worth it. We're going to limp call the button with Queen 3 offsuit. This is great. This is really good. Gonna keep an eye on that. We're gonna limp call Queen High off there. That's Q. Was that a good enough shout out, Curtis Lambert? Now, this is nice because we can actually fold now. Otherwise, we were going to call there, just have too much equity to folds. We shan't be folding at King 10 of diamonds. It was the same on both tables. This is so annoying, mate, honestly. There's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way, chat. There has got to be a better way. There we go. We turn to pair. Can we catch him bluffing one more time? Right, here's the deal, buddy. You're going to have to bluff for me because I know you don't got anything. God damn it. He's got ace 8, and he's not the sort that would actually call a hand there. So story checks out. Story checks out. All right, so you're this guy, you're this guy, you're this guy. We're going to bluff this river. And back in the driver's seat in position here. Yeah, we're gonna barrel off now, guys. So this is 5-9. It needs to be a little bit more. That much. Rhea saying, I have an error in Spin Go. Error 13, I can use everything except for Spin Go. Try restarting. Definitely try restarting. That will assist on occasion. All right, we're going for value on the river, guys. Oh my God. Well, this makes you sick, doesn't it? Nice. I will take it. It was wacky. I'll give him that. It was wacky. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that though, Ray. My Spin Goes have had a few little niggles like that, but it's always been sorted out by just a restart. One big blind will do. Diamonds are forever over here. Diamonds are forever. Diamonds are forever. Can I get a flush one time, please? Can I get a flush one time? No. Apparently not. Apparently not. Apparently not. All right. Rag v Rag, wish me luck. This is the correct call. And now. And now. Big bet on the turn. Gets it done. Thank you for coming, sir. Appreciate your time. Oh my God, these tables are going to be the fucking death of me, mate. Ah! There we go. Boop, 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 boop. Exo Panda, what's up? I have a command for you, bro. There we go. You can hear all about it right there. I will say, it's not the most challenging of challenges, but it is a piece of content that's going to be interesting to follow to see what the outcome is. The challenge was actually meant to be well over 100K. I was thinking about doing even more than that, in fact. However, what we have decided to do is, first of all, catch this bluff over here on the right. What I decided to do was to bring the actual value down and move that in stakes because we just ran out of time this year. Like, I just want to have a more relaxed number that I can almost definitely complete before the end of the year and have some fun with it. If you guys are enjoying this content, you can get challenge updates on my social media platforms. And if you were to check that out and you were to support that content and it's something that you guys are enjoying, then next year I will increase the value and I'll increase the stakes. Because we're not playing 10s for any particular reason. This isn't really a bankroll challenge because we're rolled to play much higher. We're basically just going to play the subscribed number of spins and we're going to see what the fuck happens. We're going to see what happens. We're going to see what the outcome is going to be here. We have a top pair. Not so good. That's more like it. That is more like it. This Tale's character is pretty solid, I would have to say. Definitely a strong character. Right, so we want to make a note about this. This is quite important. What's the note? Hey, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate you. 3x off 6 button. This is important because if this player is using this sort of sizing, what the fuck do we call this? We are not particularly lucky in these spots, are we, guys? Right, so next game. No. No. This is going to be the death of me, you guys, I'm telling you. Guys can watch me lose my flip. I say flip, I didn't see the queens. You guys can watch me lose it twice. Yeah, this is pretty unlucky for the ace-10 here on the left. Never mind. Never mind. I revoke my previous statement. Birthday present, Nick plays a bigger spin and gets 50%, and I get 50% if he wins. I'm afraid that's not how the tax man operates, bruv. I'm afraid not. Ooh, should we get a little lead on this turn? Snap call on the flop. Right. Based on this note, I have a plan. Based on this note, I have a plan. Plan checks out. Okay. Oops. Sorry, guys. Do. Nice. Got a little chips on the right. Got a couple chippers. No, on this river. Wild Joe, thank you very much for the follow. How you doing today, Wild Joe? The Wild Joe himself, Spade. This is not the worst run out I've ever seen in my life. Nice. Not so nice. One day I'll win a flip. Leave all this to yesterday. Why live life from flip to flip when we could just win all our flips? One day I'll flip and win. Stop running shit, putting me in the bin. Nazarka is a regular. Nazarka, confirmed regular. We're going to give him the old 2 barrels. The 2 barrels. I'm worried about our kicker now, guys. I'm not going to lie. Well, actually, that's not true. That's not true. King Queen is all in. King Jack is okay. Actually, on hindsight, I think we go for it. I think we go for it, guys. Wish me luck. King Queen of Spades is flatting, apparently. That's unexpected. That is extremely unexpected. It seems like my instincts were good. I don't know why I ignore my instincts. I'm not sure why I always ignore my instincts. Oh, we value towned ourselves. That is incredibly sad. That is so incredibly sad. Should we be worried about DMCA? I mean, my angelic singing, probably, yeah. What is this? What is this song from? Was that from Moulin Rouge? One day I'll fly away. Leave all this to yesterday. Oh, God damn it. Why do I do it to myself? Chat, one day, I'm just gonna go, hey, this doesn't feel right. Maybe I shouldn't do this. After all your years of experience, something in the back of my mind, is telling me that maybe we have kicker problems on the river. Nope, just ignore. We're all in. Fuck it. Literally exactly the problem. And in fairness, and it is fair to say, King Queen is a hand that is usually played aggressively pre-flop. Now, the offsuit variety is almost always jammed. The suited variety is one it's called, which means technically there's only 4 combinations of King Queen suited in that range, which means technically it's probably still the correct shove. King Jack probably falls in the same category as well, to be fair, but, you know. It is troublesome. What's up, Poker Joker? Good to see you. One day I'll win a flip. Let's go. I'm gonna win a flip, and it's gonna be great. Wish me luck, guys. We have to call almost any 2 cards here. 9-6 is definitely in that category. Not that run out. One day I'll leave again. Yo, Ghost, thank you very much for the follow. How you doing today? How is it going, mon frere? Yeah, Pocket Kings is usually considered a pretty good hand. Excuse me? Excuse me? Does that seem right to you guys? I don't think that's right somehow. I don't think that's right somehow. We got justice in the end, but don't think that's right somehow. Why live life from spin to spin? I'm not sure if I know this guy. Yo, Evie, thank you very much for the follow. Very, very kind of you, sir. King 10 of spades is like the super nuts here. Oh. That's weird. Finding it a little bit difficult right now, chat. I'm struggling to understand what it takes to win an all-in. Should we keep some bluffs in here on the right? Keep all the bluffs in? Should we keep all the bluffs in? Should we keep all the bluffs in? You guys ready for the value shove? We're all in. This guy has queen 10, and we're going to get the whole stack. It's okay. We got value on the turn. And I'll tell you one thing, guys. We kept the bluffs in. It's important. Why live life from dream to dream? Send it home. Let's go. I am Mate. This is a steal, and he's checking on this board. I'm fucking terrified. I am terrified. I am terrified. All right. Value bet river. So I was terrified on the flop. I was terrified on the turn. And now we're getting raised on the river. So what would you guys think logically we're supposed to do here? All right. Nice hand, buddy. Nice hands. Nice hand, dude. Nice hand. Can we get a trap? Trap successful. Very successful indeed. King 3 is not a push at the stack depth, if I'm not mistaken. That's a little bit looser-gooser. And that's something that makes me happy we folded that previous situation. This Mate character playing a looser-gooser game. Just no response, I'm afraid. And 10-6 sneaks in here. We're getting action. We got action, and it was good action. 2 live cards is totally fine. 7. Just doesn't feel right, does it, chat? Just doesn't feel right. The 10-9 is definitely a call. Being dominated there is bullshit. But, you know, what are we supposed to do? This one's pretty straightforward. Pew, pew, pew. We're going to bet the turn. Pew, pew, pew. Now, the likelihood of him having queen reduces to 0. Therefore, we're all in. We have straight draw potential. We're calling on the turn. Mate is crying. Give him the 3 on the river. No action from the high cards. Oh, guys, honestly, I'm sorry. It's going to drive me insane. Oh, that one's close. We can probably get away with the Queen-5 jam there. We might have actually missed a spot there, guys. Sorry about that. One day I'll fly away. Queens is not reasonable. I don't know what to tell you, chat. What's up, Stan? Good to see you, bud. Queens in that spot, not at all reasonable. Completely unreasonable, in fact. Shit. I didn't realize how short we were. I was too busy complaining. Definitely calling with ace-9, by the way, guys. I was too busy crying about 10s into queens to make the right call there. Comeback. The comeback is on, chat. Never mind. Kings is a pretty good hand. So good, I did it twice. Why can't I get the table up? There it is. Well, we might have trapped him here, guys. Did we trap the king of poker? We did. When you trap the king of poker and they spike their 7, that is the second time that's happened to us in 10 minutes. I'm going to go out on a limb and just say that ain't right. Next game, please. Oh, these tables are so tilting, guys. These tables are so tilting. There we go. King high for the win. King high for the win here on the river. Bets flop, checks turn. I'm bluffing the river. Wish me luck, guys. I'm turning my hand into a bluff. Oh, that was a cute little move. That was one of my cuter moves, if I'm honest. Fairly cute. You know what's not a good flop? This one. Diamonds. Just catastrophically bad. Oh, I want to dance with somebody. I want to hit the flop with somebody. Oh, I want to dance with somebody. Hit the flop once in my life. All right, more poker. Oh, I want to raise with somebody. I'm gonna put in the raise with the ace jack. Gonna call that shove, no problem. versus pocket nines, yeah. Somebody, who? That's why he's the king. You're absolutely right, Akuma. That's why he's the king, and I'm just the peasant. Dean says you've got a certain amount of thick skin to continue to play despite all the bad beats. Yeah, it was just many years of practice and a little bit went a little bit Trumpy there. I went just a little bit Trumpy there for a minute. You say I'm the best. I didn't say I was the best, but I am the best. They didn't say I was going to check the turn, but I'm going to do it anyway. We're going to call the one big blind bet. And on the river, we're going to check, and he's going to check, and he's going to have a 9, and we're going to win. If he has a 9, everybody in this chat room owes me $50. He's got Jack 9. Pay up. Everybody pay up because you all owe me $50 and we flop top 2 over here. We're calling a shove. This was a trap. We trapped him. King 6 in the bin. We are calling with top 2 over here. He's going to bet the turn. He's limped the button with aces. We're about to stack him. Keep all the bluffs in. Keep all the bluffs in. We're going to keep all the bluffs in. Now that was 2 very, very, very sexy scenarios. Somebody once told me I got thick skin. I didn't say I had thick skin. Speaking of thick skin. Oh, the finisher on the left as well. What's up, Mose? Good to see you. I don't know, Dean. I was trying to do a funny bit there, but got lost in translation. They told me I had thick skin. I didn't say I had thick skin, but I got the thickest skin in the world. They said it was terrible. They said it was terrible what was happening. They said it was terrible what was happening. I didn't say it was terrible. I said it was fine, but it was terrible. We have flopped nothing. Somebody, who? Somebody, who? The $50 in the mail. Thank you. Somebody who. All right, so let me get this straight. They're check raising the turn. This is a limped pot. Do you guys want to know how much I believe this line? You're about to find out. You guys are about to find out. Okay, I believe you now. It's fine. What a player. What a player. That's only $43.54. 43.54 euros deal. Wait. Chat. We are out here busting our ass. Trying to make something a reality. Dean's got it right. We must have thick skin. Somebody. Ooh. We're betting on the right-hand side because we can't stand to see a free river. Wish me luck. Here we go. nice. Thinking of a run out. With somebody who had aces. Oh, so annoying. No! All right, I got to figure out a different setup for these tables because it's super tilt. What's up, Mose? When will I stream tournaments? Good question. Probably next year sometime. With somebody who loves me. Oh, I want to shove with the 6-4. I want to be all in with that 6-4. I'd rather not run into pocket nines. Sacramento says I'm a big fan of tired Nick streaming content. Good. You're in for a treat. I want to feel the heat with somebody. With loves. Verse reg. It's probably fine. Yeah. Somebody who. With somebody who's all in. That's a good start. Oh. Slightly sweaty turn. Risking it all and the DMC violation with the Whitney Houston song. With Somebody Who Bluffed Me. The brand new single from Nick Walsh. You got a well-disguised ace on the left. Steve Swift is asking, how long is a session, Nick, and how many games do you estimate per session? So it really depends. It depends if we're multi-tabling. For the sake of the challenge, I'm trying to play 2 tables on stream, which for me is like a good balance between I can actually talk about what's happening, make some content, and then also get through some volume. I would say the average stream length is maybe 2 or 3 hours. It's not particularly long, but in situations like this, we play until we cry, which we're barreling towards as we speak. How many per session also depends on the multipliers quite heavily, which I've realized quite early in the challenge, because the 2x multipliers are a lot faster now than the 2 and 3x are a lot faster now. And if we do end up getting larger number of multipliers, if we get larger multipliers, excuse me, the average game time increases drastically. I say the average, that average in that session, I should say. Somebody who folds pre. Oh my fucking god. The guy check raises us with 10 high, no hand, no draw, and turns a better pair. Okay. Story checks out. Yeah. Yeah, story checks out. Well played, but well played. Very cool, very cool. The no equity check raise turns into a hand. I say no equity. Does have 1 overcard, to be fair. In fairness, somebody folds pre. I never realized that song was so right for poker parody. Oh, for God's sake. Okay. Winning pots is hard, apparently. I never realized how hard it was to win an all-in. Somebody who... Have I seen the new Happy Gilmore? I have, yeah. Look, me and Ruth watched it. Ruth and I watched it, whatever the phrase is, and whatever the correct grammar is. It was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was silly, but it was kind of funny. I feel like they could have toned it down with the cameos. I like the cameo thing. It doesn't bother me necessarily. It was more like the sheer volume of cameos meant it was like the main event. The cameo thing was so prominent. It was almost like the cameo thing was so prominent. It was almost like the main event, and I think it took away from the story to a certain degree. But then again, it's Happy Gilmore, so the story is not that important. Oh, God. I've never gotten pocket tens all in a spin and go so often and just been crushed every time. It's absolutely crazy how often it's happening today. Fuck off. Honestly, we've had tens all in at least 3 times today and we've been crushed. And it's not right, I tell you. It's not right. I'm setting up for the triple, guys. We're going to shove this river. Wish me luck. Fair play. Nice hand, buddy. That is completely fair. Although, I have to say that most players will not have an ace. So the triple becomes pretty good there. There have been so many nostalgic sequels in recent years, I can't think of a single one that turned out to be good. I would say this one was okay. It was okay. It was quite touching that... I think it's nice that it's a movie that so many people loved and actually inspired a lot of people to play golf as well. And a lot of people watched it having never played golf, which is also cool. I thought it was okay. I thought it was okay. I thought it was okay. Sandman is rolling at about 2 billion. Oh, that's Sandman. Speaking of the Sandman, Sandman Season 2 I thought was really good so far. I haven't finished it, but I'm getting close. All right, guys, we might wrap it up soonish. Might wrap it up soonish. We have to call with the Jack 7, but we're obviously dominated just because, you know, of course we are. Priced in and dominated. That's the name of my new band. Yeah, it does feel like Hollywood cannot create anything unique. And the stuff that they do actually end up like funding does seem like very weird. Seems like they make very weird choices on what gets funded. And then they end up funding something. They end up funding something and it's a huge success, or at least people really like it, I should say. Not necessarily a huge success. There's lots of metrics for success. And then they're like, ah, yeah, canceled season 1, no more, whatever. There's been a lot of shows like that. There's been a lot of shows like that. Oh, this is a sad story, isn't it, guys? All right, let's play for like another 30 minutes and then we'll call it a wrap for today. I do sincerely feel like we've played pretty solid today. But it is a roller coaster of emotions at these tables. Honestly, it is really, really, really hard to feel like you're stringing together a bunch of really strong wins when so much of it is left to chance. We're in another one of these spots as well, guys, where we seem to be making very good shoves and calls and whatever, but we're kind of just running into it, which is something that happens in all forms of poker. It is particularly damaging in situations where it happens consecutively. Why are we getting min check raised? Oh my god, why are we getting min check raised? Live cards. No, no chance. No chance. No chance. We can just win that one. Do you think we could just get the table? Nope. Nope, 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 nope. We should also take a note on that one. Actually, we had 10s just now. The 10 spot is actually a very important note for us to take before we fuck it off. This Mate character needs to be monitored closely for that. Start the hand, 14 effective. Like, we can pretend like it's clever, but it's not. Because, you know, if you just play your hand like a normal human being, you still get the stack. If anything, you're going to make me fold. If anything, you're going to make me fold like a lot of extremely strong hands that aren't literally pocket tens, which is like the fucking super nuts. And spinning goes. Queens is a really easy call here too. Yeah, Ed K, all good, man. We have unlocked some bonuses today, which is nice. We'll add that to our totals. We have unlocked a little something something. Can you guys hear the seagulls outside, or is the mic blocking that out? Shouldn't really block out the seagulls, more just noise. Trip 4 is on the right. All right, apparently we want to put the rest of the chips in. That's fine. Okay, that was pretty wild, I have to say. I will accept. All right, middle pair. Spade is working for me here. I think we're going to call a shove, guys. Based on that previous spot even. He can literally do this with a worse 6. We'll probably almost always have outs. He can have a random spade. He could literally have the 5 of spades. Yeah, that works. For example, that is a good one, in fact. Thank you. We knew the customer there, which was great. Love when that happens. We love when this happens. I am mate. Yeah, this is definitely a push. This is definitely a push. Ace 9 into ace king at 9 big blinds effective feels unjust, but okay, sure. Zena, thank you very much for the follow. Ace 9 into ace king at 10 big blinds effective. Pretty fucked up, but okay. Great chopper there on the river. I was wondering how the chop would be possible. Just a fantastic chopperino there. Mazer, thank you very much for the follow. Ace Queen is a good hand. Can we hold? Let's go. I feel like we're going to get a comeback on the left here, guys. I feel like this is our game on the left. We got cold decked. We got cold decked really hard there. But I feel like we're going to win this one. Okay. So let me get this straight, Billy. You've limped, you've not raised, and now you're betting 3 big blinds into ace 9-9 with 2 hearts. Okay. Let's see. Okay, if he barrels like that, he can have a hand. That's fine. I think we might have been winning on the flop. I think he had a flush draw. I feel fairly confident he had a flush draw, and I'm willing to bet money on that. I'm literally betting money on that, in fact. Does Billy have an ace? We're about to find out. No, sir. We got him. Does Billy have an ace? The answer is no. So, how do we play Billy Malone here? Billy Malone likes to lead. Billy Malone is a leader. Billy Malone is a leader. Let's see if we can find some more chips from Billy here. Let's see if we can figure it out. I think he was almost definitely leading a flush draw in that previous spot. The King Jack one was acceptable. So we're going to do this. And then we're going to do value bet on the river. He's going to call us with a 4. That's right. Get back in the box. Queen 4, exactly. You see that value bet, chat? That is how you value bet the river. With a pair of 7s. Seven. The frequency at which randoms wake up with monsters at 3 big blinds effective is still to this day a mystery I cannot fathom. Still do not know how it happens, how it works. Blows my absolute mind. So what Billy is trying to tell us is that he has hands. Never ceases to amaze me. What Billy is trying to tell us is that he has a hand, and we're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. Limp call with 9 high is good. We like that. That's good. That's really good. Can we win on the left here? Live cards. No chance, of course. Billy wants to gamble. We got him. Never mind, rivered. We are gonna limp call with 9 high. So what do we know about Billy so far? Yes. Why are we getting a min check raised here? That's pretty scary. Can we get a trap? Come on, you can lead the flop if you want, buddy. We're going to try and trap him here, guys. We're going to try and trap him here. Got some value on the river. Nayama Sensei said, today I've played 30 spins and ended 4K chips under EV. I think it's time to stop. That is usually a good sign to stop, yeah. We're going to wrap up our session very shortly, in fact. Why won't you die? Why won't you die? Yeah, this is not approved. And it's rewarded. It's not approved, but it is rewarded. It's not approved, but it is paid off. Well done, everybody. Well done, everybody involved. Very, very cool. Very cool. Are aces any good? Are aces any good? They are good. Okay. We have top two, or two pair, I should say, over here. And we're getting it in against Jack High. This is good. This is good. This is usually a good thing. It's usually a good thing. The comeback is possible, guys. The comeback is possible. All right, guys. Wish me luck. We gamba here. No such luck. No such luck. Comeback is on. Queen 10 is no good. We're not destined to win this one. Mr. Vendetta wants to put in half of a stack, apparently. Highball has limp shoved the button. On the left here, I really don't know what to think here. Nice hands. This is not a bluff. Domination situation is okay. Cute little move there. We managed to hit a king. Is it any good? Same hand, huh? Can I win it all in, please? Heebie-jeebies, bruv. Holy guacamole, can I win it all in? We have absolutely bombed in chips today. Bombs. We'll take a look at results in a minute, guys. Ugh, so gross, the spots. We'll take a gander at results in a minute. It's been a roller coaster in EV, but it's been a shit show in the Chips 1 department. Can I get a flop? Can I get a flopper? Put me on the flopper. Put me on the flopper. Take me to the flopper. Can't call. This one is going to be okay to put all in here, though. So technically, against this player, Queen 5 is a call if they push, but they've been playing really wonky. And for that reason, we want to be a little bit careful here. Probably going to play this, maybe one more game after this, and we'll call it wraps for today, guys. A little 3-hour sesh. We have put in volume, if nothing else, but if we don't start winning some all-ins here, I may quit poker forever. All in on both sides. We have the best hand on both sides. 7-4 is too good, huh? All right, we win the 30, we lose the 20. Let's play 2 more and we'll call it quits for today. Huh, okay, interesting. Interesting game. Yep. Really interesting game. All right, 2 more and we'll call it quits. We'll take a look at some graphage. Might do a quick review as well. I have a couple hands marked. I have to say, guys, I do think that the 2 p.m. slot is fairly reg heavy. We're going to be all in here. We get it in very good. I don't think that's right. I don't think we min raise call that hand there. Let me actually put that in the marked hands as well. 45 seconds ago. There you go, Marcus. And what a life. What an absolute dream to just have ace queen there. That is a terrible, terrible turn. What's up, Slurpee? Good to see you. Love review time. Yeah, we'll take a look at some spots. And wish me luck, guys. Here we go. Reg v reg spot. Can we get a reg v reg hold? Let's go. This is another reg v reg spot as well. Come on, give Uncle Nick a little spin here. Nice. Okay, I don't know what's going on. We don't have a game on the right here. Is this game just not run? We filled another one before we. That's weird. We managed to fill the game on the left before we filled the game on the right. That was goofy. All right, 2 more. What's up, Slurpee? How you doing? I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. 4, 5, 6, 7. Just gonna say it feels like they might have one of those hands. We're not really telling a believable story, but I don't know if that matters as much in that situation. It could be best. It could be good just to go for it. It says my spinning goes won't fill either. Try and refresh, just kill it on reg and then reg. That seemed to work. Yeah, I think it was a bug, Slurpee. I think it was just a bug. It was it filled as soon as I unregged. Like the table on the left kept was instant filling, but the one on the right didn't fill for some reason. What's up, Lighter Maximo? We'll take a look at results after these games. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere, buddy. Hero call with the 7 on the river feels great. Can I get an ace queen? Well, if I was going to go up against any combination, it would be aces. Oh my fuck! Literally shoving the aces cracker, getting there, and it's still a chop. How? It's so fucking stupid. It's actually so stupid. I can't even get lucky right. We can't even get lucky the right way today, guys. We can't even get blessed the right way today. What the fuck is going on? We can't even get lucky the right way. What the hell? I'm gonna give him some rope here, guys. I'm gonna give him some rope here. I'm gonna give him some rope. Okay, that's fine. You can do that. That's cool. Oh my God, I don't understand what we did wrong. We have pissed off the poker gods. Something fierce here. We have pissed them off. Something fierce. All right, we win the game on the right. Let's try and win this one to wrap up our sesh. We'll take a look at some results and stuff in a sec, guys. If we can just finish up this game, which has been pretty great. Raksha, could you report that, please? They're going to ask for my logs, aren't they, anyway? But there we go. Cool, another win in the bag. All right, guys. So with no further ado, let's take a look at today. I actually haven't looked at today's graph just yet, but I can tell you based on the overall graph, it's fucking mental. Why is this game so hard sometimes? All right, so first of all, a look at the big graph. All right, so you guys can see this is the challenge filter. So this is all of the hands we played so far for the challenge. We started here today and we're like, wow. And we ran fucking god awful. We managed to lose, it looks like about 6,000 chips in EV today. Something like that. Let's take a look at actually today, and we'll see what that looks like. So today merged, apply. And this is a look at today's session, guys. We ran pretty awful. Oh, that's a lie. I didn't see this. This was a big spike at the end. We managed to win a few all-ins, it would seem. Ended up about 1,000 chips under EV, which at the moment is about three buy-ins-ish, something like that, on average. But yeah, look, not a particularly stellar session in terms of EV, but I can tell you a lot of what we were doing today was right, and we were just running into it more often than not. I think on 3 occasions we had pocket 10s into aces or a bigger pair. We definitely had our share of cold decks today. And there you go, just one session. How many games did we play? What was the bottom line? We played 103 games today. We won lost $190, excuse me. So that puts us in the challenge total minus dollars, which makes sense because our actual chip EV is not winning pre-rake back just yet. So if we go across to this filter, open this one, you can see that we're down $120 overall, over $6,350 worth of $10 spins. And like I've been saying so far, I explained a little bit of this on my social media while I was doing the breakdown as well. 9.8 chips per game is not going to be a profitable chip EV pre-rake back. We are in profit after rewards though, however. So let me actually really quickly, let me try and do this without doxing myself. So a big part of the edge in these games is going to be the bonus structure. We've managed to actually win a couple cool bonuses so far that were part of a promotion that was running. However, we are also, of course, grinding through the PokerStars regular rewards. So we're up to silver now. We started at absolute zero. I think we were like red or bronze or whatever the start one was. This is going to be $40 going towards the total. And just to put that in context really quick, guys, let me see if I can fill out this this sheet here. So sessions, bonus counter. I've got a little bonus counter that I'm keeping track of things here. We're just looking at cash. This is one we got from silver. We'll start annotating that as well. 07, 2025. So this is how I'm tracking our bonuses so that we're not just assuming that we have a certain level of rake back. It's actually exactly the dollar amount that we're earning from the start to the finish. So again, let me just make sure I don't dox myself really quick. I'm going to pull up my challenge documents. And we are going to take a look at how we're doing overall with rake back. This is the wrong one. Looking for bonus tracker. Here you go. All right, so you guys are cool to see this one. Let's just do this. Updated. Yeah, this is fine. So so if I add, this is a bonus spin live promo. That was $425 exactly. That was cash. That was 27/07/2025. And then we have the $40 from the chests. $40 cash. And then that is going to be 30/07/2025 enter. Okay, so let me show this to you guys. So I've been taking notes manually with the bonus counter here, but of course that we're just going to put this into the spreadsheet over here. So far we've made $172 in bonuses, and we're down $120, so we're actually still up around $50 so far in the challenge. Now, obviously, this isn't where we want to be. We are hoping that overall we're going to find, better results, and indeed, I would, like I said at the start of the challenge, I would be pretty chuffed if we could manage to win a few percent ROI in EV before rakeback. But, we don't know what's possible yet with this format. And also, as you can see with the high variance nature of this game, 5,000 games might not even be an accurate assessment or an accurate sample size to try and figure out where we're at. So we're making progress. We're kind of heading in the right direction. We've definitely made some changes that are positively impacting on our win rate. But sessions like this are killer because we play a bunch of volume and not really much happens in terms of like what we've theoretically earned. And it's very hard to distinguish skill from luck in some of the faster games, right? Sometimes we played like 5 games in a row where we're just shoving ace-10 and we're running into ace-king, and that's just going to happen, right? But that's not an accurate reflection of our total skill, because if we play 1,000 of those games, that's going to happen to our opponents as often as it happens to us. And in this small snapshot, we're going to be looking like we're flatlining when we're actually doing everything we possibly can. And then a week from now, we're going to be the guy who has ace-king and they're shoving into ace-10. When we got off to a start here, guys, this first couple sessions from here to here, we're winning like 90 chips per game, which is like 2, 4, 6, 8. That's like 4 times the required chip EV in order to profit. If we end up having even a couple stretches like this in the near future, it'll balance out, and then our actual true EV starts to become more prominent. So this number here, this number here is really important. And we're hoping to get that close to or above 23 chips per game. We'll see how it goes. We're going to share all the results. We're not going to hide anything. We're going to actually play through it. It's nice that we're actually slightly up in money, obviously, and the rakeback thing is a significant part of your edge when you're playing Spin and Goes. So just going to keep tracking. We'll do some more updates along the way, and we'll go from there. Since we are here now, guys, let's do a little review. So we have a couple more hands. Let me try and remind myself. So this is what happened in this one, guys. There was a min raise and an all-in, and it was a min raise call from the King 7 of clubs at around 15. I'm almost positive that this is not a thing, but we're going to look this up. Before we proceed, I want to make it crystal clear. I'm closing PokerStars. For now. Thank you for the follows, by the way, guys. Fret and Coldfold, appreciate it. Pursuit, thank you as well. Noin Phase, thank you as well. Mazer22, I think I gave you a shout out, but there you go. So just over 100 games played today anyway, by the way, lighter. But yeah, basically, I don't think we min-raise call a shove from that stack depth. PokerStars is now closed. I'm about to open the Nick Walsh TV chart pack, which is a very, very good Spin and Go chart pack. If you guys are interested, it's on my website. So we're making reference to these charts now. And just to be crystal clear, these charts are not for use while you're in play. It's against TOS because they're considered advanced charting. So we're looking at three-way. We're looking at the big blind. We're looking at this button. We're looking at a big blind 3-bet all in. Small blind is folded, and we're looking at 15. King 7 suited, definitely a min-raise fold. So we're just confirming this one pre-flop spot. Just want to double check sometimes. As should be kind of obvious, the stuff that we min-raise call is the stuff with the most equity. So Jack 9 suited performs better than King 7 suited, which should be obvious because I'm more likely to shove hands that contain dominating King X. And then obviously it's just linear. There's just a lot of very good hands in here that we're going to want to play that way. So we can unmark that one. That one seems pretty straightforward. And let's take a look at this one. So where are we at here? This is a raise. Okay, so this one is interesting. I'm gonna double check if this is even a thing, but I'll do the replay anyway, all right, guys? So we're at the start of a game. This guy min raises. We find a cheeky 3-bet with the King 7 offsuit. I wouldn't be surprised if King 7 is a little bit out of line, but there are offsuit kings that we 3-bet as a bluff here. I want to double check first of all that this is a size that we use. And if so, is King 9 actually a defend versus 3-bet? Now, Seb is definitely a reg of some variety. We see Seb playing a lot. The long story short, we end up getting top pair here and we go broke. Once we're here, we're not folding, obviously, but I just want to check this one out. This might be a good one for GTO Wiz. One sec. Let me just get that open. Again, I'm only doing this, guys, to hopefully avoid exposing personal information, which is not ideal when you're streaming. Let's take a look at... That's not what we want. Analyze uploads. Here we go. So this should work. If we copy this hand history and I upload this, does this work? Is this acceptable? Okay. Yep. Okay, cool. So we can go into more detail here, but you can see immediately, I don't know if this is too small for you guys to see. The 3-bet is already out of range, but we kind of anticipated that. So a better way to look at this is to look at the whole tree. So the button is opened at 15 big blinds effective. The small blind has folded. This is the reaction in the big blind. So we do have a raise to 4.5 or 5 big blinds, but you can see here it is King 5, King 3, right? So it's not King 7 off. There are going to be good reasons for that specifically, but already it's okay to say that we're not like completely off base. Like the concept is in our brain correctly. And in reality, whether or not it's King 5 off or King 7 off is going to make very little difference. So this isn't what we're here to look up, but I'm okay with this so far. And like I said during the stream, I think this is a little bit out of line, but it's not so crazy that it's like not a thing at all. Does the button call with King 9 offsuit? King 9 offsuit is just a fold. 100% fold. So we've confirmed two things. We are sort of applying the logic required in the 3-betting range here correctly, even though perhaps it was like 2 combinations off. Again, it's not really because King 7 off is particularly better. It's just that, you know, the 5 is going to be a better blocker than the 7 or something like that. In any case, not surprised to see King 9 off is not a raise fold. So I do wonder about what these guys are doing. We have Seb marked in blue. I do think he's probably a very competent reg, but he does a couple things that we are a little bit unsure of. This is probably one of those things. Now, having said that, does that mean what he's doing is wrong? Against me, this could be like the sickest shit ever because he knows that maybe I over 3-bet with my weak kings. In which case, King 9 off is like a fist pump, right? If he's got some sort of a read on me based on the fact that I'm a streamer or based on the fact that my frequencies are weird, suddenly these can become acceptable. The issue that I have is at 15 big blinds effective, you can think that I'm doing something slightly wrong. And as long as it's not so wrong, it's completely like stupid. You're probably going to struggle to make this combination work for you in position regardless, because there's going to be too many flops where you just don't connect, or you're going to be in too many situations where you're forced to fold flop or turn when I bluff. So Probably not, but I think this is as far as we need to go because that's kind of what we were looking for. We wanted confirmation that we weren't missing a spot like where we should be raise calling. Again, that's probably only ever going to be versus reg. The range that we're looking at here is only going to be versus reg because people are not 3-bet bluffing like at all in this situation. This is a spot where regs might not even have 3-bet bluffs. They might just literally have just their linear jams and that's it. So whatever. Unmark, great. And this is the last one. Should be a straightforward one, I think. We are just going to shove here. So we're shoving 12.3 into 2 short stacks who have less than 10 big blinds. This feels very natural to me. I just wanted to look at what the breakdown was here because there are some splits where we start to introduce more limping when there's an asymmetry between the small blind and the big blind in their stack depths. But regardless, let's just run this one and we'll go from there. I would be very, very surprised if we weren't just playing this hand correctly. It seems kind of wild if that wasn't the case. Okay, so yeah, double tick. So we've played this hand correctly. Let's just take a look at the range though. This is what we wanted to do. On the button, it's just a lot of pushing, I imagine. Okay, cool. So it is pretty much all push. We're not at that weird stage where we have any limping, which is good to note. With the small blind still being effectively about 10 big blinds, we do still have some min raising here that will contain our strongest hands. Now, if we knock this down to 998, for example, I would be interested to see how much more min raising we get, and then at 8 the same. So let's look at 998s. We got 996, 999. Let's try this one. Yeah, I mean, look, that's a big dropping off point, right? As soon as we get to 9, we're basically just going to play a pure push fold because we don't really want to play many of our other combos as a min raise. It becomes very unbalanced. Ace King suited aces is min raised at some very, very low frequency. And so is 8-9 suited. But it is important to note that the reason we're allowed to kind of still have min raise is at 10 effective against the small blind. But once we get to 9, we're going to play push. So there you go. Anyway, guys, we played poker today. I think it's safe to say that today we played poker. That's true. You can't tell me that's not true. We played poker today, and we managed to put in a fair amount of volume. Based on how I'm feeling, I do think that we probably played quite well. I am feeling quite frustrated with how little some of these games offers by way of like opportunities to like, you know, glean EV. What do I mean by that? Well, you guys know that I've been playing Spin Goes for a long time. You guys know that when I'm playing regular speed Spin Goes, which are much slower, much slower than the new format on average, we were winning a fair amount of chips. In fact, usually enough to profit long run over a pretty big sample. In fact, we can turn this off. This should give you guys a better scope if you've never seen it before. You know, we have a fairly reasonable stretch here of data points indicating, you know, that we're making good decisions in Spin Goes. So we should feel confident. What I am struggling with right now is with the new merged Spin Go pool. It does feel like in the 2x multipliers, the opportunity to sort of gain EV is very, very minimal. And that makes sense, right? Because like we've looked at already on a couple occasions with our study sessions, you start at 50 big blinds and then everyone's got 10 big blinds 2 minutes later. So it really does become very push foldy. Now, rather than letting that get us down, we need to continue studying to try and find out where we can glean a couple additional edges. However, there is a very compelling argument that, you know, in a 2x multiplier, which is very frequent, you know, deviating too far from what is going to be a very push heavy strategy is going to be a mistake. It's actually going to end up costing us chips, right? So there's a balance here. We can't really try and outsmart too much. We can, you know, do our best to try and find edge wherever possible. We can try and exploit as many of our lesser experienced players as possible that we encounter. But there is kind of a diminishing return when we put ourselves in too many situations where we're just going to perform better by being all in, which is a very sad story, but it's also very frustrating because it did feel like in the previous reg speeds there was a lot of opportunities where people, you know, where there was an opportunity to gain an edge, you know, picking up chips in spots where people just didn't know the situation very well. But in a weird way, it's almost like bad regs become better in this format because all they have to do is kind of just follow the rules and play push fold. They're in less ugly situations, blah, blah, blah. Again, that's not a complaint. It's not an excuse. If anything, I think probably I need to work harder to perhaps try and find where the exploits are a little bit more at these shallower stack depths. But yeah, there we go. That's one session in the bag, guys. Where are we at right now? Let's get the filter sorted again. 635, so $6,350 played of our 50K total. We're making progress. I will probably end up playing a little bit more off stream. These daytime streams do tend to be slightly reg heavy as well, which is also going to be a challenge on stream in general. But we're looking to get that chip EV another 10 pips higher. I do anticipate that in the near future, in the same way we've been on a bit of a bumpy ride already, guys, over the first 600 games or so. You guys can see that massive bomb right in the middle, and then, you know, this sort of flatness we encountered today. I do anticipate the flip side of this happening. We've been complaining a lot about shoving into like dominating hands and stuff. It's going to happen in the opposite direction, and all of that ugly negative EV will literally just be erased. And there's not really much our opponents can do about it outside of actually allowing themselves to get exploited. So more volume required. Going to play some more poker, get some more volume in, and I do probably anticipate a huge upswing at some point, and that should get us closer to what is going to be a more sustainable chip EV overall. But it's going to take more because it's a faster game. Anyway, guys, love you all very much. Raceland, good to see you. We're going to clock off for today. I hope you guys have had a good stream with me today. I'll see you guys tomorrow around 2 p.m. on the PokerStars Central channel for more Spin Go Showdown. That's the word I'm looking for. And also Friday, we have the Spin Go Showdown finals, and we're also doing commentary remotely for the Manila APPT on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Saturday, we're covering the High Roller Final Table. Sunday, we're covering the APPT main event penultimate day. And then Spraggy's going to take over on Monday to cover commentary for the APPT main event final table. So lots to come this week. I'm glad we managed to get one of these streams in. I will keep you guys updated on social media. If you don't follow me, go and check out !Nick in the chat. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Discord, got a website, got a YouTube. I'm also starting up a TikTok if you guys want to follow that at Nick Walsh TV, the same as everywhere else. And I'm doing these style updates, but a little bit more concise. So if you guys don't get a chance to watch streams, you can still see how we're doing in the challenge overall. But yeah, keep grinding, guys. We got to get our head down, put some more volume in. We got to make sure we're not getting loosey-goosey, and hopefully we'll get this just a smidge better, and we'll be crushing it. I love you all very much. Enjoy the rest of your night, and I'll see you guys later.